The Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers lived up to the billing just in terms of this was supposed to be a tough physical matchup, and it was, as the Seahawks beat the Panthers 37-27. And for the Seahawks, give them credit on offense for being resilient right before kickoff. Some of the inactives, I mean, the Storm Forsythe started for Charles Cross at right guard. That was not such a big deal, but the surprise was Anthony Bradford started for Phil Haynes at right guard, and Forsythe started for Charles Cross at left tackle. And despite playing a subpar first half, the Seahawks were just down 1 point at 13-12. The Panthers, with their fifth-ranked defense, came in here and took care of business, as I said, in the first half. I mean, Geno Smith was hit early and often, and he was just 11 of 23 for 153 yards, and the Seahawks offense was 1 for 8 on third downs. The Panthers, on the other hand, settled, they were actually, their offense found some rhythm, and they were able to go 4 for 9 on third down. Now, the flip side of it is the Seahawks defense just held the Panthers just to 13 points. So let's hear from Pete Carroll and Jordan Brooks, and also Ken Walker.
It's coming together and finding themselves, and we can really make something of that.
How did Red Brian do get the team fired up yesterday?
Red Brian did great. Yeah, it was a stellar, classic Red Brian in pregame. I told him that he could give the pregame speech like he used to, so it didn't take him 2 seconds to jump in the character.
I mean, how was that having all those guys to walk through?
It was
defense?
really good. I'm so glad we won the game and played a game like that, with the fans being part of it and coming from behind and all that kind of stuff. It was really a thrilling weekend, way more than I thought it would be. I didn't know that it would feel so emotional, and connecting with the guys, because they love their recollection of this time that we spent together, and they've all carried it with them, and it's been a big part of their life, and they deserve to cherish and relish in all of the memories of that, and they are doing that, and so it lives on because of that. So it's really special.
Well, Pete, speaking of the fans, after that back-to-back false starts, you turned around and gave a pretty emphatic salute to them, to the crowd.
Oh, it was so obvious. It was so obvious that they were kind of running the show. So we were just playing off them and flying with them. That it felt more unique than it's felt recently, and for whatever reason, the fact that they responded like that in this early part of this season, and after we screwed it up the last time we were here, that's where we start moving forward. And I'm hoping that we can continue to fill them up, and they can fill us up with the love they have for the Seahawks.
What happened with Draymond Jones?
His hip tightened up. I don't know, we don't know the extent of it, but his hip was tightened.
Pete, you said it's a young team that's coming together. How much has them trusting each other helped this process?
That is what the process is about. It's about learning who you're playing with, understanding what you can count on from the people around you, and then being accountable, and then being that, finding your way to performing like we need you to perform because we know you. And that is what's happening, and there's just growth opportunities. That's what I made a big deal about last week, because that was such a challenge opportunity to be in. We'll grow with that one. Coming back home and doing it again after we had kind of screwed it up before was a huge growth opportunity for us. And I really feel like we can trust that we understand that you got to play 60 minutes of football, and sometimes even more.
What do you think of Jake Bobo's touchdown?
Loved it. I was so fired up that Jake got that. We missed some opportunities to him today, but he's going to be a big factor. He did some really good things in this game today. I couldn't see how intricate it was at the back line, but I'm sure he did it perfectly. That's just that he would figure out how to get inbounds. It was a great little play, great call, great play, throw by G, and also to finish it off
That combo, the two of you, where maybe you're kind of the more big play guy, and he's hitting them hard, knocking guys over. It seems like a good balance between you two.
Yeah, I feel like it's a great balance. Zach can make plays, just like I can make plays. So, whichever one of us in the game, I think we're going to produce.
What was your view of the hit he had on the run down the red zone late in the game?
That was crazy. But I see him running like that in practice all the time. But he's so electric. And it's great to have him here.
How much do you like getting split out wide and running go routes?
I like playing wide receiver. I played in high school, so that's like one of my favorite positions. So I love going out there and being able to catch.
When the corner bit up on that, did you know the ball's coming to you at that point?
Yeah. So I just kept running and looked up. I was hoping Gino threw it, and he did.
What was it like hearing from some guys from the 2013 team this week?
It was cool. I talked to. I don't know who was in the middle of the huddle, but he was hyping us up yesterday. And then I talked to Baldwin today before the game, and it's cool to have those guys come back and watch us play.
There were 8 false starts for Carolina. This stadium's always been known for kind of getting in players' ears and causing that kind of chaos. What did you think of just watching the sidelines?
It was great. I love the energy. You know, the 12s always bring energy. It was an exciting moment.
How satisfying was it for the offense and defense to play complementary football? A couple of times they made some stops. You guys took advantage of that.
Yeah, I feel like when we play complementary football, you know, that's what wins games. You know, when offense and defense and special teams playing together, it makes it hard for another team to beat us. So.
On your big run, the one you bounced outside, were you past Gino already to see his block, or did you see it? He kind of just stood the guy's ways.
Yeah, I didn't see him. I seen Gino over there, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was just running.
Do you hear the reaction of the crowd, like when you make a move like that? They're like,
Not until after the play. Like I came on the sideline, I was like, was it loud? But like I can't really hear. I kind of back it out.
Kevin, what do you think has made DJ effective in the return game the first few weeks of the season?
You know, he studies it. He's always in the film room, and he takes it serious. I feel like DJ's just versatile. He can do anything, and he's real reliable.
You mentioned getting the run game going. You guys did that with a lot of your starting offensive linemen hurt, and then Damien goes out for all this. What does that say about the line depth of those
What
guys?
did you ask? I'm
The
sorry.
offensive line depth, just that you were able to get the run game going with all the guys.
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
yeah. You know, we talk about next man up, and I believe everybody on our offensive line is reliable and they can block. You know, so I feel like it's important to have depth like that.
on the play where you split out, I mean, we see that happen all the time in practice, stuff like that. How many times has Dino actually thrown it to you?
It don't happen much. You know, it seems usually like back off and the corner just waits until somebody until he throws it flat. But this time he kind of been on the flat. It was open.
All right, anything else?
Man, when the front seven is playing like that, how does that help you all?
Great. It's complementary football, you know, tight coverage on the back end and good pressure on the front end, you know, that make a good ball. Yes, sir.
How much is trust a part of the resilience you guys showed? Because, you know, you got so many moving pieces. How important is the trust factor?
It's big, you know, like you said, you know, so many moving pieces, so many new pieces and stuff like that. Like I'm in a new position myself at nickel back, you know, so we just got to keep on working and keep gelling and just trust each other. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, there's so many moving pieces back there. I mean, can you just talk about the versatility? Like you said, I mean, look how y'all can play different positions.
Yeah. Now that make everything a lot better because you know anybody can be plugged in and out. We can play a bunch of coverages behind the front seven. You know, so it's a benefit for us, most definitely.
And then just where is the growth of this defense? It looks like, you know, each week you guys are getting better.
You know, we just want to dedicate ourselves to getting better each week in and week out. You know, we don't want to stay stagnant. You know, we're working to be the best. You know, this is the Seattle Seahawks, a great organization. So, you know, we gotta stand it uphold.
Last one, how important was it, you know, to win one for the 12s after the opening season?
It was big, man, especially with the Super Bowl team coming back, you know, having their ceremony, you know, it's big, so, you know, it was great energy. You know, we got the dub, that's what everybody wanted, so that's what happened.
Before, I think I told y'all last time, that was the biggest emphasis for the defensive side of the ball this offseason was we got to stop the run. We thought, you know, last year's performance as far as stopping the run was embarrassing and not the standard. That's been uphill here. And so that's been the emphasis, and I think we've gotten better each week. And so we just want to keep rolling and keep that mentality as far as stopping the run.
Why has it been working?
Like I said, I mean, I think you get what you emphasize. And then just having a better understanding of how we want to attack the opposing officers as far as stopping the run. I think last year was just a little bit discombobulated. Not everybody being bought in. And I think it's been the exact opposite of that this year. And so I'm just proud of the guys and front seven especially of accomplishing that thus far.
How great was that atmosphere out there today?
Oh, it was crazy. I think they had 8 false starts today. So I got to give it to the 12s, man. They showed up and showed out today. Sometimes, like, give me a little rattle. Can't hear what Bobby's saying in the huddle, but I'll take that any day. 8 false starts. What's the record? 11?
11.
So we need to break that next home game. But that was great to hear them cheering today.
What's Jeremy Reed brought to this defense?
That toughness, just a dog mentality. And then that was another reason. Like, like having that type of guy. You know, he was here my my first 2 years, and then went off the last year, and that was a big piece that was missing. But I think the toughness and his mentality as far as just playing ball, period. And I think he definitely is, you know, the forefront of stopping that deep, the running game right now.
Is that when that line is tough in front of you? Is that infectious in terms of the toughness, dog mentality to just spread through the whole defense?
Oh yeah, because Jay Reed will let you know about it. You know, if you feel like you're not playing up to your standard, he'll let you know about it. And he did that today. You know, he felt like we could have been more dominant, and we could have. And so, you know, him just leading by example and also being a vocal leader helps us tremendously.
He said that during the game or afterwards?
This is during the game when when you see us on the sidelines, defense huddling up.
Yeah.
I think we had like I don't remember what point of the game it was, but at some point he came up. Hey, we got to do better. You know, we got to do better. We got to stuff him, keep him stuffed. Don't let him get nothing. And I think everybody bought into that, and we went out there and performed.
How about these first 3 games for you coming off the injury? How has it felt, and what does it mean to you to do what you've done so far?
Oh man, I'm thankful. Yeah, you see this shirt right here, Jesus saves. He saves, man. He saved me, and so I gotta give God his credit, just to be out there playing. People don't realize, like, you know, the experts or whatever they say, you know, gave you this time limit. God gave me a different time limit, and he blessed me to go out there and be out there with these guys right now, and I'm just humbled and thankful to be out there playing with them right now.
Okay, so there you had it. Pete Carroll, Jordan Brooks, and also Ken Walker, you know, just talking about the resiliency, and Pete more so in terms of the defenses coming together, and Ken Walker talking about, you know what, this complementary kind of running that they now have with Zach Charbonnet. And Jordan Brooks, I thought it was a little bit touching there, and he said he was just blessed to return. You know, he was on his own timeline. And this is a guy, you know, if you remember January the 1st, I mean, his whole, you know, his knee, he had to have surgery, and there was a doubt of when he will return. But he said, you know, he has been playing stellar in these, you know, first 3 games. So, and again, give credit to the O-line for blowing up and keeping the tough Carolina defense off Geno Smith in the second half. I really think that was the key here. And lastly, everybody from the coaching to all the coaches to all the players said, you know what, give credit to the 12th man, that is the Seahawk fans, because there were 8 false starts in this game and another one kind of movement, and that was the key. The last time that there was more than 9, it was the 2005 when the Seahawks played the New York Giants on Monday night. So there it is, the Seahawks 37, the Carolina Panthers 27 from Lumen Field in Seattle. I'm Osvita Mar.